Animal lovers of Miami are doing everything they can to get dogs and cats off the streets. Volunteers like Lisa Moore from This Is the Dog Rescue witness the horrors of the harsh reality that stray animals face every day.
One of our recent mass rescues was when we found out about a drug addict who was squatting in a condemned home. He had a few adult cats. He was having other addicts take the kittens of those cats out into the streets to sell for a few dollars to people who were looking for kittens to use as bait in dog fights or as snake food.
As tragedies are uncovered, people like Tia Williams from Operation Paw devote their time and efforts in hopes of seeing a change for the future of these animals.
You can live in Miami all your life or for many years and not even notice that there's a cat problem. But once you see a cat that's injured or desperate and starving, and then you start thinking, what can I do? How can I help? Why aren't there more people working on this? And suddenly you're doing cat rescue.
The kittens that I got, one was emaciated, skinny. He required extensive medical care. He was literally skin and bones, the poor thing. One of the other kittens in the litter was so terrified that she had become fear aggressive. She would literally snarl and growl and bite. I didn't know if she would ever make it.
Miami is experiencing an overpopulation of stray animals, and it's only getting worse. Abandonment of pets is bringing more and more strays out onto the streets.
Sharing this awareness, that's important.
Barbara Aubin opened her own animal rescue, This Is the Dog, to find them homes.
It's not just a problem, it's a crisis. Because a lot of the community aren't aware of it, or they're ignorant of the fact, or they see a stray dog, oh, it'll go home. No, it won't. Not all the time.
This general unawareness, combined with the city's warm weather conditions, is creating a constant cycle of reproduction that shelters and fosters can't keep up with. Miami-Dade County Animal Services receives about 30,000 animals every year.
There are so many animals there, they are no longer accepting surrenders.
The Miami-Dade shelter is packed.
Whether or not shelters even have the space and the capacity to take in animals.
Anna Sanchez of the Miami Vet Foundation hopes to educate the community regarding the issue.
We can't find them homes fast enough. I would like to say to people that think that the cats take care of themselves out in the streets, it's not true. They're full of intestinal parasites. They get injured, they get hit by cars. They have all the problems related to malnutrition. They're having litters that die.
60% of the cat litters born homeless die. The 40% that do survive start to have their own litters within 6 months.
Kitten season is year-round in Miami. Other places, they get a break in the winter. When it's cold, cats stop breeding. When it's warm, they keep going, and they're baby machines. So for us, we have a much larger overpopulation problem than most places in the United States.
There's something else that really fuels the problem, and that is a lack of awareness, some cultural and religious barriers, and this false belief that these kittens that are born are a beautiful thing. It's not the case at all. The parents of these kittens are sick and hungry. Many of them die.
Well, after families went on an animal adoption spree during the pandemic, many are no longer able to care for their precious pups.
Some people are rethinking the dog or cat they adopted during the pandemic.
COVID not only was a medical catastrophe for human beings, but it was also for animals. A lot of people adopted, and then when they went back to work, well, they either took the dog to the shelter or abandoned it. Right now, we're experiencing all of that aftermath.
Not only are animals struggling to survive, the aftermath has its consequences for the community at large.
It affects everyone. It affects the cat because they're hungry, they're homeless, they're struggling. There are people that don't want them around. There's constant quarreling, fights between the cat haters and the cat lovers. It never ends well. Some people that feed the cats put out an excessive amount of food. The food stays there, it attracts raccoons and rodents.
Nonprofits like Barbara's This Is the Dog Rescue and the Miami Vet Foundation are working in an effort to combat the issue. However, to make considerable progress, the community needs to take an active role.
Rescues, veterinarians, the county government, leadership, the community. It's a coming together of all of those forces. Right now, they're here. They need to be here.
Flora Beal of the Miami-Dade County Animal Services is just one of the forces combating the issue.
One of the most important things, I think, is educating the community and creating awareness about how they can best help these stray animals that they find in the streets.
We try to educate as well as promote spay and neuter awareness, which is the core of the solution, and also help with pet retention, supplying dog and cat food to the community.
We'll actually give you the crate, the harness, the leash, the food, the bowls, anything that you need, and of course, spaying and neutering. Yes, it's helpful to manage population, but it's the best thing for the health of your beloved four-legged family member, right?
We should be spaying and neutering our pets. It's for their health. It's for the health of, avoiding the suffering of the offspring.
Spay and neuter is beneficial for animals by increasing their lifespan by up to 3 years, and it prevents different types of cancer, such as mammary and testicular cancer. It also reduces unwanted behavior for owners, like marking their territory or roaming to mate. In order to control the numbers, volunteer groups like Operation Paw go out and trap, neuter, vaccinate, and return community cats, a process known as TNVR.
It's pretty much 7 days a week at this point, between the scouting, catching, recovery, returning, fostering. It's a lot.
It's known as a best practice, and it's also the most humane way of trying to manage that feral cat population.
We try to stay off the radar just because there's a lot of people that don't like cats. We don't want to draw attention to the fact that there's cats in their neighborhood, because then they start complaining about them, or worst case scenario, they're hurting them or poisoning them, which has happened at this particular location. Also, a lot of times when we're catching the cats, we might be skulking around some neighborhood in the middle of the night, and we don't want the police to be called on us. That has happened. The only thing we have going for us is that those kittens that we try to get off the streets, and we send them on transport up north.
We do transports once a month up to the New England area. We're sending these animals, to happy people up there that are just waiting, for their new family member.
All right, picture time. This is not just about getting rid of kittens. This is about giving each kitten the chance to have the beautiful life that we believe it deserves, and giving each adopter the chance to have everything they always wanted.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm so excited to be a mommy.
So it gets them out of here, which is highly overpopulated. That's part of the solution.
Oh my, I just don't know why I foster these things. I don't know.
Despite the ongoing issue of stray animal overpopulation, those fighting for the cause experience heartfelt moments after putting in so much mental and physical efforts.
Although rescue is extraordinarily hard for all of the tragedies, it's everything to be able to know that we can give each one of them this chance. At that rescue, I ended up with 3 of the kittens, and today he's being adopted by an incredible family. This kitten is pure love. He is going to make this family so happy.
Thank you so much to This Is the Dog and everyone involved. We love our new baby, Estrella, and thank you to Lisa and to Barbara and everybody that volunteers and the transport, everything. We're so excited to get her home.
This is what we do. We give them the chance to have these amazing lives.
We want less cats. So whether it's I'm doing it because I love them and you're doing it because you don't like them, we still want to control the population and have less cats. So you should be working with us.
We can all make a difference. Every single person has something to offer, and giving back, there's nothing like it.